time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill. I know life's short, so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel?
Hey guys, how you going? Okay, yesterday we had some technical difficulties. I'm sorry about that. The videos didn't play. So I'll play it again today. The rubber duck did say, what if the precipice event turns out to be a bright flash in the sky, sold to us as incoming nuke blasts, but turns out to be the light that will heal us from within, activated by the flip of a switch. Okay, now I'll play that video now.
Supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light, and I think you said that has him in check, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting. Right, and then I see.
Okay, so that was very interesting. We'll see what happens. Who knows? By the way, everything here is alleged and not to be taken as advice. It's alleged until proven otherwise, and everyone that I mention is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Okay. Oh my goodness. Now let's get on with it. There will also be an unedited version with any medical stuff on Rumble. Okay, so this one is the disrespected trucker. I'm going up in case I don't finish it. I wonder when Trump said watch the water if he meant California. That's what I was thinking yesterday when I said it. When I said, the California, you know, the water, that we know that there's a couple who own the company that own the rights to the water. Let's have a listen to this guy.
So you know how all the journalists and the Democrats from President Trump has been talking about the water situation here in California, and he talks about a giant spigot that you can turn to send more water from the north to the south, and they say, what's he talking about? He doesn't understand. There's no giant spigot. Well, there is actually, and I'm standing right in front of it. There it is, over my shoulder. It's called the C.W. Bill Jones Pumping Station, federally owned. Let's give it a simpler name. That is the Trump pump. And when he was president the first time around, President Trump ordered more water to be pumped from this pumping station, which has 6 giant pumps that lift up water from the Sacramento-San Joaquin Delta and sends it south in the Delta-Mendota Canal. And President Trump ordered more water to be pumped here and sent south. So just up that road where I was at the Trump pump, you come to this. It's the entrance to the Harvey O. Banks Delta Pumping Plant, which is part of the state's water project. You could think of this as Gavin's pump. This sends water into the California aqueduct, which is the state-owned part of the system. And guess what happened the last time when President Trump said more water should be sent in the federal system? California said less water should be sent into the California aqueduct through these pumps here. They retaliated by restricting the amount of water. Unbelievable. Why do they do that? Exactly as President Trump's been saying, to protect fish. Well, let's hope this time they have more common sense, and when President Trump orders more water to be sent through the federal Delta-Mendota Canal, the jokers in charge of California don't send less water through the Gavin pump here at the Banks pumping station.
Wow. That's really interesting.
So you know how all the...
Okay. Then we have this Santino, because apparently a helicopter and plane collided yesterday. President Trump, watch the water. Trump has given a rundown on tonight's events, and it's completely unclear why this happened. The helicopter was going straight at the airplane for an extended period of time. It's a clear night. Why didn't the helicopter go up or down or turn? Donald J. Trump said the airplane was on a perfect and routine line of approach to the airport. The helicopter was going straight at the airplane for an extended period of time. It's a clear night. The lights on the plane were blazing. Why didn't the helicopter go up or down or turn? Why didn't the control tower tell the helicopter what to do instead of asking if they saw the plane? This is a bad situation that looks like it should have been prevented, not good. Now, the Democrats are trying to blame Trump for this. Okay, we'll see how this goes. Liz Crogan said, watch the water. There's that. There's this. Remember the Fiji water? And Liz Crogan said the billionaire couple, Stewart and Let Them Eat Cake, Linda Resnick, who hoarded California's water, have funded Israel and gone as far as pushing for war with Iran so they can maintain a monopoly on the pistachio industry. Based on tax records from their foundation, they've given anywhere from $500,000 to $200,000 to the Israeli military every year, with most of it funneled through an outfit called the American Friends of the Israel Defense Forces. Adding it all up comes to millions of dollars, $2.4 million just between 2015 and 2022, according to MR Online. They're also on the board of trustees for AIPAC. They have backed politicians and lobbies that take hardline positions on Iran, whether it's through supporting sanctions, increasing foreign tariffs on, or arguing for a tax and straight-up war. Furthermore, years ago they were accused of having a workforce that was nearly 100% comprised of illegal immigrants who were allegedly grossly underpaid and overworked, according to Earth Island. Also, Linda reportedly wrote a vanity essay about their $14 million Beverly Hills mansion where she it's topped off on all four sides with row of balustrades through which a queen might peek out and utter, "Let them eat cake." Recently, they've cried anti-Semitism over criticism of them hoarding California's water supply. These people are pure evil. Watch the water. Now, we'll see what happens with this. They own a majority of California's water. We'll see what happens. Look, there's a lot of theories going on right now about what this could mean. Kathleen Sullivan said Trump re-truth, watch the water this morning. Now we have plane crash into the Potomac River, is it called? I think. That's how it's pronounced. Red 911. Funds raised versus distributed. Oversight. 7 out of 10 plane crashes are targeted. Those in the know never sleep. Watch the water. Water. Why is this event big? What does it signify? Why is NK out of the news as the world turns? I don't know, but just keep watching the water. That's what I'm getting from this. Breaking: American Airlines Flight 5342 collided with a DC police helicopter on its way to Reagan National Airport and went down into the Potomac River. Reagan National is shut down. Flight Aware shows plane's path ending at the river. This is the actual footage. It's here. Okay. So that's interesting. So we've got that as well. I don't know. There's a lot of water going on. Dead Pirate Roberts said, I love Tom Homan. Could watch this guy all day. God forbid the criminals don't have water on the airplane. We found someone that has a bruise. What the hell? These criminals needed to be treated brutally the way they treated their victims. I know we can't do that, but don't expect us to have sympathy for them. We want them the hell out, and we don't mind if they suffer on the way. Libs of TikTok said, reporter, there are reports of migrants being treated inhumanely. Tom Homan, that's a bunch of crap. We're going to enforce the law and we're not going to apologise. Don't believe the lying media. I can't stand the media. Yeah. So, where am I? Back one? Okay. Just need to like all these. Okay. Then we have the Justice Cometh. Do you remember what I've said about watch the water? Possible comm blackouts. The first pic shows 710 plane crashes are deliberate. Also shows red 2. Central comms blackout. Funds raised versus, well, we just read that one. EMM loyalists, red 1. POTUS Twitter removal, red 2. Central communications blackout. Continental US. Red 3, class movement, Pelosi or Pence. Red 4, movement of military assets, 10th Mountain, 1st Marine, CPSD Marine, QVIR, 2 central locations under guise of citizen right control. Red 5, National Military ComSen. I don't know. Red 6, Secretary of Defense instruct USSS Castle Rock. Castle Rock, isn't that, Castle Rock is a production company, isn't it? Okay. Gramps in the Garden said, we're told to watch the water. Trump just turned on the water. This story should get real good going forward. Enjoy the show, folks. Yeah, I thought, though I walk through the valley, Of the shadow of death I will fear no evil, for you are with me, your rod, your staff, they comfort me. Donald J. Trump said the United States military just entered the great state of California and under emergency powers turned on the water flowing abundantly from the Pacific Northwest and beyond. The days of putting a fake environmental argument over the people are over. Enjoy the water, California. Ooh. It kind of does sound more like that at the moment. Real Roberts said, and this is the FBI's bribed confidential human source, James Aaron Knowles, who infiltrated the Proud Boys and leading Pelosi's staged insurrection at the garage of the Capitol building on J6. The report the DOJ and FBI hid from public view. CHS James Aaron Knowles reported to his handlers at the FBI that the Proud Boys were innocent. Now start the arrests with the judges. Ooh. That's him, I suppose. Circled. Okay, it looks like just a mess. There he is again over here somewhere. Here he comes down the stairs. Walking through the building. Okay, what has happened is the confidential human source, James Aaron Knowles, then reported that the Proud Boys did nothing wrong. This report was buried by the FBI administration. They had the report and lied about its findings to the American public. They all lied, and we have proof. Highly sensitive DOJ J6 documents leaked to the Gateway Pundit. FBI confidential human source infiltrated Proud Boys, ran FBI operation on J6, reported they were innocent. There you go. So we have that, and that is from the Gateway Pundit, so it is sort of mainstream. Okay, then we have Real Robert, and this is Nancy Pelosi's armed tour guides on J6 giving handshakes to protesters walking through the corridors of the Capitol for January 6. This kind of an insurrection only occurs on the 7th floor of the FBI. Does anyone remember 7th floor no more? Yeah, they're giving them a tour, you know. Looks like that's what it looks like. You go this way, we're pointing this way. Yep, keep going, mate. You're right. Yep, no problem, mate. Yep, keep going down that way, guys. Keep moving. Okay. Then we have Manuela Sainz. I don't know. Close our border. The Party of Joy. It's scary to see this level of craziness within the Democrat Party. Pelosi, Schumer, Pencilneck, Ilhan, AOC, the View Crew, Rashida, plus its never-ending list of deranged people, all of them, are very conflicted and sick. Now I'm going to have to turn my volume down for this, because this woman's going to start screaming. Janine, MAGA Meme Queen, said videos like this prove we have a mental health crisis in our country. Are you ready for this? I don't know. I think there's something wrong with this woman. She looks like a bit of a demon. I don't know. Let's have a look.
It's all right. It's all right. I feel that way too. It's all right. We feel that way together, okay? Let it out. Let it out.
Check out the eyes. Settle down, love. You'll be right.
Everybody wants to show the happy side. I'm mad as hell today! But because I have responsibilities, I'm gonna do these freaking dishes. Whew.
Yeah, get those dishes done. Get those dishes done, love. That's the way. Don't worry about it. You'll be right. My God. Okay. I don't know. Possessed by demons? I'm starting to wonder. Eric Abernathy said Democrats are feigning horror at Tulsi Gabbard meeting with Bashar al-Assad. Meanwhile, they had no issue with Nancy Pelosi's meeting with Assad in 2007. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has defied the White House wishes and met with Syria's president. She sat down with President Assad, part of a tour that she and other members of Congress are taking through the Middle East. Nancy Pelosi, we came in friendship, we came with hope, we came determined that the road to Damascus would be a road to peace. Tuesday, President Bush chided the Speaker for going there. Pelosi is happy she was able to talk to Assad. Video doesn't lie, unlike Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats. Rules for me, but not for thee. Sorry. That's how they roll. Francie Nancy said, what's going on here? Back in Australia here. Albo and Dan Andrews at a dinner last year, 12th of November, with a wealthy Indian dude who runs a dodgy international college in Australia, which has since been deregistered. They were paid to come to dinner at the Turek mansion with Rupinder Bra and all these wealthy Indian businessmen. The Prime Minister's office are not answering questions. The Australian reported that Berkeley International College, which caters mainly to Indian students, was deregistered in May after what the Australian Skills Quality Authority described in a statement to the Australian as significant non-compliance in relation to training and assessment, enrolment and marketing and governance systems. Berkeley has appealed the decision and has launched legal action to overturn the deregistration so it can continue to operate. Is it appropriate to be dining with the multimillionaire international college owner while Australia was in the middle of investigating dodgy colleges that are bringing over international students? You can hear in the clip that they are discussing visas. Let's have a little listen.
Risk rating.
So they've been processed with reference numbers.
All gender jokes aside.
Yeah, they've been processed with reference numbers. So there's a big push right now in India where they're going, okay, well, let's go to New Zealand because Australia's taking 60 days minimum. And funny enough, the visa's been rejected from a husband's point of view.
So the wife's just organising this.
That's
I've got no idea. I'm giving you feedback. But exactly what we were saying.
The logic there is that instead of being processed together, they're being processed separately.
Exactly.
And a different risk rating.
So they've been processed with reference numbers.
All gender jokes aside.
Yeah, they've been processed with reference numbers. So there's a big push.
Oh, they are indeed discussing immigration. Wow. Huh, there you go. That was Daniel Andrews, the Victorian Premier who shot rubber bullets at people, and our Prime Minister, who's just a joke. They both are. Oh, God, more jokes. I'm not laughing, though. Stephen said, remember when Elon fired 80% of Twitter staff and after some minor hiccups, the app massively improved? Well, it was an improvement, but it's still not 100%. Can we do the same with our public servants starting from the top? I wish we could. All of them. Oh dear. Stephen said, this is Katie Gallagher. She is 54, never had a real job in her life, but somehow she's the finance minister. No wonder everything is more and more expensive. Again, dear God, get her out of there. Look, I wouldn't do it. I'm 54, right? I've had jobs in my life, but I still wouldn't try running that. Okay, Stephen said Alice is now ranked as the 18th most dangerous city in the world. It's Alice Springs. Albo can't fix Alice Springs, but he's spending billions to fix the climate. Have you had enough yet? This is disgusting. Shameful. Okay, Stephen said Albo just signed an open borders agreement with India. Indian graduates of Australian unis can now stay and work for 8 years. Do you see what that video down below was about with Daniel Andrews, now Prime Minister? All Indians can now come for 3 months, family or business purposes. We never voted for this. Yes, you can't hate them enough. Megan said if anyone for whatever reason needed proof as to how incompetent and unqualified the elected leaders of our country here in Australia are, Just to point out the fact that Albo and Penny Wong, who've both been in Australian politics collecting taxpayer-funded wage for 25 to 30 years each, lack the confidence, resourcefulness and ability to pick up the phone and call the White House and ask to speak to the President of the United States. Instead, they have their staff put a request through to his long-time golfing buddy, Greg Norman, to tee up a meeting with the POTUS on their behalf. How much of an embarrassing limp dick lemon face would you have to be to not know how to make that call yourself? If they can't accomplish the basic task of calling their peer and ally, you can absolutely guarantee there's zero communications, negotiations or trade arrangements happening in any part of the world either. They don't have a clue how to represent the fundamental interests of Australia's GDP, national security or ASX economy, much less her citizens. So they're going through, oh my goodness. Greg Norman. They're asking Greg Norman, who's a golfer, to contact Trump for them. What the far out? Bunch of wusses. They won't even pick the phone up and do it themselves. They're scared. They're scared of Trump. Kobe Thatcher said Peter Dutton's pledged to stop foreign investors from buying existing residential property for 2 years. 2 years? How about no, completely? Well, Kobe Thatcher said, good, this needs to be done. We all know Albo won't do it. I'd go even further than that and ban it permanently and for all residential property, not just existing. Yes, I agree. I actually agree. LT Australia said there's a marble video going around explaining how preferential voting works in Australia. Thousands tried it last time. We ended up with Albo. The reality is there are only two political parties that can actually form a government. Make your pick. Then stack the Senate with your favourites to keep them honest, which is the little parties, right? We can't risk or afford another 3 years of a Greens-controlled Labor government. If the independents were serious, they'd form a new coalition, but too many egos are in play. That's what I think too. Vote for what's a realistic and achievable outcome and vote smart. Our collective future depends on it. Okay, there you go. Then we have this. Bunce number 23. Here's a thought for the woke. Instead of self-flagellation, why not be proud of your ancestors creating one of the most modern and desirable places to live on planet Earth? Don't take my word for it. Ask the over 600,000 new migrants Albo lets in every year. When white people are given 200 years to build a country from scratch, this is what happens. Do you know what colonisation was about yet? And no, I am not a white supremacist either. I just think that you need to know the truth. Everyone needs to know the truth. And I believe that that's the truth. Colonisation was meant to help people, help countries with technology and things to make themselves run good. But it didn't work because the deep state got involved. Come on, man, said Albo hasn't even called an election yet and has already promised $15 billion in spending. Not satisfied with blowing the budget and borrowing more money and blowing that too, he now has already started his excessive spending if he was to be re-elected. Oh, dear God, no. So far this year, Albanese's made promises worth $15 to $16 billion and counting. No, they'll take that 15 or 16 billion and they'll shove it in people's pockets and their own. They won't help Australians out with that. The $275 electricity rebate or lowering of prices by $275 that he was going to do with our electricity, that didn't come true now, did it? No, neither have half of the other promises they made, except to themselves. Alexandra Marshall said someone CC this to Albo and Wong. Ryan Fournier said the Trump administration will now cancel any student visa for those who are Hamas sympathisers. The Road Knight said, meanwhile in Australia, Albo grants visas to 21,500 family members of asylum seekers who arrived by boat. What happened to Ruds? If you arrive by boat, you'll never be settled in Australia. Yeah, that went out the window. And wokeness reporter, how many of the migrants that were deported have a criminal record? Levitt, all invading is a crime. Exactly. You have to apply like everyone else. Matthew Kamanzuli said seems like Albanese and Labor struggle to tell the difference between free and taxpayer funded. Yeah, that's been their problem the whole time. In Albo's mind, he has a free oceanfront house because that is also taxpayer funded. Hopeless. Dave right now said, I wonder why Albo deleted his big announcement so quickly. Anthony Albanese promised we're rolling out free internet for more families and yours could be next. Yeah, right. It's not free, it's taxpayer funded. Call the election, you moron. He didn't say moron, I did. That is ridiculous. Okay, and these ones. This is Australian politicians, right? Stephen said Labor is now using a tax on Jews as Trojan horse for new laws to control the narrative. They all define what hate speech is. Criticise immigration policy, get arrested. Criticise religious teachings, get arrested. Yeah, that's what I think about anti-Semitism too. It's more censorship. I'm sorry, if you get called bad names, but threats are already illegal, okay? You don't need a law for anti-Semitism when threatening people and blowing people up is already illegal. Don said the whole Albo show is a fail. Vote Labor out. Let's get Australia back on track. Stephen said this is Julie. She's 52. Never had a real job in her whole life, even though she dropped out in year 9, but somehow she's a federal agriculture and small business minister. No wonder we have a small business crisis. Oh, dear God. The inmates are running the asylum. Please, someone help. This is insane. This is a parody account, obviously, Australian Labor parody, okay? One day after President Trump signed the two genders only order, officials informed trans women prisoners that they were being transferred. Transgender women inmates across the US will be moved to male prisons as ordered by Trump. And so it should be. V, replying to Ellie Melly. Let's hear what Ellie Melly said first. There isn't one single reason for Australia to stay in the World Health Organisation, not one that serves no benefit for Australia, so why isn't Dutton promising to leave? V said, well, the answer may lie in their wealth creation agenda. Dutton's worth over $300 million, Albo's a multi-millionaire, Dan Andrews is worth $90 million, all on politicians' wages. Secret trips to China for under-table deals and deals with global three-letter agencies and corporations, as well as money laundering through foreign wars in the climate scam. I agree. There you go. And then we have this. Australian Labor parody said people are getting sick and tired of the leftists' BS. Let's have a listen.
Yeah, no.
Supporting this day is the day that they came to the land and genocide.
Okay, it's also Australia Day, so.
No, it's not though.
It is.
It is.
It is.
The murder of people is like cool.
I think Australia Day is pretty cool.
Murder?
I don't think murder. I think Australia Day is cool. Really? Are they being murdered now?
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah.
In Australia?
But you're still supporting the murder. That's the thing.
I really don't think. No, I don't think so.
I think you're a bit dense.
You think I'm dense?
Yeah.
You're looking pretty dense yourself, I'm sorry to say. But,
Don't fucking fat shame my friend.
Get the fuck out of here.
Fuck.
Fucking fatty. Get the fuck off. Fuck away from me.
Whoa. Okay, well, don't hit anyone, and you won't get hit back, for a start. Not only that, that woman was very stupid, saying that people are still getting killed in Australia today. But, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck she was on about. Oh, my God. It was so brain draining. I lose brain cells when I listen to these people. Australian Patriots said, thank you, Albo. The Western Australians said confused locals woke up on Australia Day to find popular Mandurah pub cobblers falcon flying the flag of the Chinese Communist Party on Australia Day. Good one, you thickheads. Kelly, I see dumb people, said Albo and Labor have allowed this hate to grow, and I'm not surprised to hear a caravan laden with explosives was found dumped on a Dural road with a sinister note containing the addresses of Jewish targets inside. I don't know, this seems like a setup on something wrong with this thing. I don't know. Is this to bring in more anti-Semitism laws? I don't know. Okay, here we have it again. Bit more of a close-up here. This is the helicopter, this is the plane. And the helicopter just goes straight for it. Mike said, someone tell me how this is not intentional. A Black Hawk casually running into an American Airlines passenger plane? Come on. Yeah, that's a bit ridiculous. Buddha the Deplorable said, who was on the Black Hawk? Who was the target? Who was on the plane leaving Reagan Airport? Something ain't right. Yeah, exactly. Close up of it. This does not look like an accident to me. The helicopter appears to fly horizontally directly into the plane. This does not appear to be any vertical movement by the helicopter. No, they didn't even try and get out the way. Sean Joseph, sorry. Where did I get Jean from? 19. Replied to Aaron Rupa, who said headlines from a week ago as an incident near DCA appears to be the deadliest aviation disaster in the US since 9/11. Trump guts key aviation safety committee, fires head of TSA, Coast Guard. Okay, now they're trying to blame Trump for this. Sean Joseph said TSA gropes people. It doesn't run air traffic control, you intellectual troglodyte. Global Agenda said, who the hell authorised a Black Hawk helicopter training mission hovering over and around a major airport during a night with planes landing in and around its training zone over the Potomac River? I guess I keep saying it wrong. Was the training commander smoking crack? I'd like to know. Feisty and friends said, please pray. American Airlines Flight 5342 American Eagle with 60 souls on board has collided with Black Hawk VIP transport helicopter and approached to Reagan National Airport, just over the Potomac River. There's a massive search and rescue underway. Wow, this is all from yesterday, mind you. Kaylee Means said, astounding. Reporters at RFK hearing have pre-written negative headlines. RFK faces grilling on anti-vax comments and animal mutilation. Confirming hearing. Okay, that's not all they were doing, apparently. Okay. George said, I can't believe a senator just said this. Mr. Kennedy, I only have 5 minutes with you, so you're just going to have to listen. Somehow this hearing has turned into Democrats trying to score political points. They won't even let Bobby speak. Okay, let's have a listen. What's going on here?
Senator Whitehouse. Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Kennedy, I only have 5 minutes with you, and I've got a lot of experience with CMS, so you're just going to have to listen. Senator Whitehouse. Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Kennedy, I only have 5 minutes with you, and I've got...
Wow. Shut up and listen, right? Wow. They shouldn't be allowed to do that. This is confirmation hearing, isn't it? Jeez. Okay, Farm Girl Carrie said Bobby Kennedy gets standing ovation from the audience as he leaves the hearing. I just love him. Don't you agree? We need this man. Ready for it?
And Mr. Kennedy, I look forward to working with you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We're adjourned.
There you go. We've got George breaking Charlie Kirk just sent chilling warning to any Republican senators who dare to vote against Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s confirmation. Confirm Bobby Kennedy or face well-funded primary challenges. Choose wisely. Turning Point is one of the most ferocious organizations in America. Senators should heed the warning. And they should. Okay. Daily Caller said Senator Roger Marshall wrecks Democrats who are hesitant about RFK Jr. Bobby Kennedy Jr. is the right person to lead the HHS to make America healthy again. I'm really disappointed that my friends across the aisle have never really focused on the major issues. There you go. Libs of TikTok said this VA survey is reportedly still asking if you're trans or non-binary. They're ignoring Trump's CEO. This needs to be investigated. What is your gender? Male, female, transgender female, non-binary? Prefer not to say? Wow. So Veterans Affairs. Libs of TikTok said it has begun just with DEI. The child mutilation industry will change the name of their trans treatments to get around the ban. We'll follow this closely and expose all of them. They won't get away with it. They're now diagnosing trans people with disorder of the endocrine system instead of gender dysphoria to protect their access to HRT. Wow. Crazy stuff. Benny Johnson said Pete Hegseth is dropping truth bombs on Fox News. One of the dumbest phrases in military history is, our diversity is our strength. Our diversity is not our strength. Our unity and our shared purpose is our strength.
DEI, how's that going at the Defense Department?
Well, DEI is not going well at the Defense Department because it's dead. We will, as the president said in his inaugural, we will be merit-based and colorblind, and that is the case at the Defense Department. DEI is going to be ripped out root and branch because we want everyone treated equally with high standards and held accountable with warfighting, lethality, and readiness front and center. We don't have time for emphasizing differences. Jesse, one of the dumbest phrases in military history is our diversity is our strength. Our diversity is not our strength. Our unity and our shared purpose is our strength. And the Pentagon is excited to get back to that core mission. It's happening rapidly. The services are responding, and those that don't want to respond can work somewhere else. So diversity, equity, inclusion will not be a part of the Defense Department.
Good stuff. Brendan Dilley said illegals being sent to Guantanamo Bay should be accompanied by the politicians who made their invasion into America possible. Definitely. Concerned Citizen said CNN allegedly had pre-written articles about the Washington crash hours online before the event, and lots of people have the receipts. And this was 16 hours ago. 7 hours before that, the video appears to show passenger jet crash over Potomac River. 7 hours. 6 hours. So apparently, that's what's going on. They had previous. Yeah. And someone asked Grok what time the plane crash happened. 9 p.m. local time. My wife can confirm this. She just told me right now she read about this tragic story online earlier today, hours before the incident happened. Where have we seen this before? 9/11, Building 7. Yeah. Yeah. Black Rock. What? No, it was Castle Rock. Okay. Into Thin Air said Breaking the Black Hawk did not have a transponder on apparently, and was designated as PAT Priority Air Transport. That means there was a very high military ranking official on board the helicopter. Who was on board? This could be why they sent the Doomsday plane. Into Thin Air said Breaking Doomsday plane is heading to the area of the Black Hawk and plane crash at the Potomac River near Reagan National Airport. What's going on? The E-4B is designed to be a survival command, control and communications centre, particularly in scenarios involving national emergency or nuclear threats. The Boeing E-4B, also known as Night Watch on the Doomsday plane, is operated by the United States Air Force. Specifically, it's flown by the 1st Airborne Command Control Squadron of the 595th Command and Control Group, which is based at Offutt Air Force Base near Omaha, Nebraska. The aircraft serves as National Airborne Operations Center for the National Command Authority, which includes the President of the United States, the Secretary of Defense, and members of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Interesting. Doomsday plane has landed at Joint Base Andrews. This was 18 hours ago. Someone said they don't fly it unless someone important's on board or nukes are involved, so I don't know what's going on there, but it was a training exercise. So, is that what the news told you? Interesting. People are telling him to delete this. Matt Wallace said, pay close attention to the times these articles were written. Okay, again. Did they have it ready to go before it even happened? Okay, Project Lincoln seems to think they've had a win. They said, Trump back down. This is a win. This is what happens when we fight back. Savannah said, you're always wrong and stupid. This is not a rescission of the federal funding freeze. It's simply a rescission of the OMB memo. Why? To end any confusion created by the court's injunction. The President's EO on federal funding will remain in full force and effect and will be rigorously implemented. So they have just doubled down. Yep. The Lincoln Project is very corrupt, guys, in case you didn't know. Austin Berg said, breaking, Chicago's Inspector General just dropped a report exposing Mayor Brandon Johnson's secret gift stash. Jewelry, whiskey, handbags and shoes all stored in a gift room, hidden from investigators as well as Johnson's personal office. Just as scandalous, this report reveals a system with no real checks on the power of the mayor's office. Chicago's government's ethics ordinance prohibits city officials, including the mayor, from accepting gifts over $50. One exception is that the officials may take gifts that are accepted on behalf of the city. These gifts are supposed to be approved in advance by the Board of Ethics, then promptly reported to the Board of Ethics and City Comptroller after they are received. The Comptroller is then supposed to add these gifts to the city's inventory, but that's not what's happening. Instead, under an unwritten arrangement between the Board of Ethics and the Mayor's office that's been in place since 1989, the Mayor can completely disregard the law. Under this arrangement, the Mayor's office simply makes a publicly available logbook of the gifts they receive, which is kept on the 5th floor of City Hall. No prior approval of gifts, no reporting to the Board of Ethics, and no reporting to the City Comptroller to put these gifts in the city inventory. According to the Board of Ethics, this informal arrangement is communicated to mayoral staff during ethics trainings. And the board does not disclose this policy on their website. This is insane. So the Office of Inspector General went undercover last June to test access to this public log of mayoral gifts. An investigator showed up at City Hall posing as a member of the public and asked to see it. But the mayor's staff denied the request and directed them to file FOIA instead. At this point, not only was the mayor's office violating the plain text of the ethics ordinance, but they were also violating the informal, unwritten arrangement put in place to subvert that ordinance. So the IG filed FOIA request for mayoral gift list, again without revealing their identity. The mayor's office didn't respond at all. Only when the IG issued a formal request was the log finally produced. And here's what they found in the secret log. Hundreds of luxury gifts, including Hugo Boss cufflinks, personalised Mont Blanc pen, Gucci tote bag and crossbody bag, Givenchy bag, Kate Spade red purse, Carucci size 14 burgundy men's shoes. Notably absent from the list was any record of gifted travel, entertainment or meals. Where were these gifts being stored? The log showed some were in a mysterious gift room, others in the mayor's private office. One entry reads, bottle of Uncle Nearest 1856 premium age whiskey, location room 507, the mayor's office. The IG then tried to inspect the gift room. They showed up at City Hall unannounced. The mayor's office refused, bringing in the city's Department of Law to block access. A critical flaw in Chicago's governance structure is on display here. The law department working purely on behalf of the mayor, not the public. Just read this infuriating passage. Following that denial, OIG engaged in further conversations with the Department of Law regarding access to the gift room. Ultimately, DOL, Department of Law, apparently representing the mayor in opposition to the OIG, communicated that OIG would not be granted access to the gift room. OIG was therefore unable to inspect the manner in which gifts were stored in the gift room, as stated in the gift log, or to review controls around access to the gift room. Remember that Chicago requires all city agencies to cooperate with the IG. City ordinance specifically states each department's premises, equipment, personnel, books, records and papers shall be made available as soon as practicable to the Inspector General. Instead of complying, the Mayor's office doubled down. The city's lawyers persisted in denying the IG physical access to the gift room. After months of stonewalling, the Mayor's office finally responded. Yes, they'll allow inspections, but only by appointment. What? The IG sums up the scandal perfectly. When gifts are changing hands, perhaps literally, in a windowless room in City Hall, there's no opportunity for oversight and public scrutiny of the propriety of such gifts, the identities and intentions of the gift givers, or what it means for gifts like whiskey, jewellery, handbags and size 14 men's shoes to be accepted on behalf of the city. But here's the bigger picture. This story is about so much more than just Johnson and these gifts. This entire episode, the unwritten arrangement, the secret logs, the stonewalling from city lawyers isn't a fluke. It's how Chicago operates. In any other major city, ethics rules like this would be written into a city charter, a foundational document that defines how government operates. And at the very least, the Mayor's office couldn't ignore the law or the authority of the Inspector General's office. Because like the federal and state constitution, residents have standing to sue to force compliance with the charter. But Chicago is the only major US city without a charter. Instead, we get handshake deals and hidden loopholes, like a mayoral gift log buried in a back room instead of publicly disclosed. And the law department serving the mayor, not the public. Without a city charter, Chicago government operates on an endless cycle of unwritten traditions, backroom deals, and this is how we've always done it excuses. There are no real checks and balances that only a charter can provide, as Gilbert Ward said beautifully about the city budgeting process last year on the floor of City Council. A city charter would codify transparency rules. It would limit executive overreach. It would force accountability instead of letting mayors and their lawyers write their own rules. The OIG report is clear. The mayor's office ignored the law for decades, but the real question isn't just about who accepted which gifts or for what purpose. It's about why our system of government ever allowed this to be hidden in the first place. Of course, in a city where trust in government is already at rock bottom, a secret gift room in City Hall isn't helping. But it's time for Chicago to demand more, real structural change, a city charter now. Oh, dear me. How bad is that? Wow. Okay, I've got to get back out of all this. Someone's really trying to message me here. Okay. There we go. Very interesting indeed. Then there's this one, Yorkshire lass. I'm working in an empty property and have just ripped out the fireplace to find an old Sun newspaper staring at me. Talk about fistfuls of money handed to teens to have debauched sex with a rock star. Elton John just been sent the newspaper article from a friend in my chat. Back in 2007, it was reported that Sir Elton John, this is alleged, okay, until proven in a court of law, admitted that an art exhibit seized by police as part of a child pornography probe was his. The Elton website at the time said that he had purchased a controversial piece and it was on loan to a gallery. The photograph shows two naked girls laughing and playing. One is wrapped in costume fabric and the other is lying on her back, her knees bent underneath her. Remember back on July 17th, 2023, it was reported that Sir Elton John and his husband, David Furnish, was called as a witness by the defence in Kevin Spacey's sexual assault trial at Southwark Crown Court. Elton John really pushed the biological weapons back in the early days. Back in 2022, Elton John promised to leave Twitter because he said Elon Musk was allowing misinformation to flourish. Elton John also, did I say Elon John? Elton John, sorry, also supported Hillary Clinton during her 2016 campaign. What many people don't realise is that Elton John's music is saturated in witchcraft language. Also, what do you think the song Tiny Dancer is really about? And finally, Elton John had Epstein links to child trafficking. He was very close to the royals. Why do you think Elton is ill right now? He knows what's coming for him. And now I'm going to try and show this, but look at the newspaper clipping. Elton in Vice Boys scandal, okay? I've been shown the other picture before. It's disgusting. I didn't put it up here a long time ago. I would not put it up here. Matt Barry said, how does the council have 1,300 staff costing $160 million? What on earth are they all doing? Shameful. The Northern Beaches councillors who voted for 40% rate hike. Oh, that's how they're doing it. 7 independents from the same political party and 1 member of the Greens voted in favour of lifting Northern Beaches council rates by 39.6%. Residents have called for them to resign. These people they do not have your best interests at heart. Ghost Ezra said something's happening. It's bigger than anyone realises. Keep watching. Eyes on the sky. Then we have this one. Breaking: George Soros' son, Alexander Soros, warns RFK Jr. is confirmed. If he is, another major pandemic could take place. Elon Musk replied to him and called it a scandemic. Oh, dear. There you go. Joey Manorino said, I don't have any facts at all, but I'd assume Joe Biden holdovers in the government took someone out who was riding on a plane tonight. We shall see, but that's my opinion. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave it there for today, and I'll be back for a live stream tomorrow morning. I hope I see you there. Okay, guys, have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.